All right, guys, welcome back to the new Lucas channel, the school community, and for the YouTube game. So here we are for the day 26 of the school challenge. And today I need to focus about how my authenticity has been able to impact others. So first, I want to start by the fact that I never really took in consideration the system of authenticity before. I always was proud to be myself without never taking in consideration what was the authentic self. It's something that I've learned over the course of this challenge. Something that Lucid Living has really put a point on was about authenticity and the fact that people are reacting much more to people that are real and true to themselves rather than people that are acting, showcasing, and acting somebody that they are or maybe they're not. Okay, so it's something that I never really thought of before. So it took me some time to actually come up with something that could resonate with the audience today, because the way I saw it is like, yes, I've always have been myself. I always have been Lucas, and I was always pretty proud to believe in my values, in my principles, and regardless if people liked it or not, and I wanted to stay true to my ground, proud to be a black sheep and to be different from others, and to be proud of everything that was going on into my mind, and never got scared of speaking my own mind, regardless of the form, regardless if it could hurt people, regardless if they were making people happy or not. So authenticity also have grown into diplomacy as well. But I think to realize how it has been impacting others, I think it came gradually, right? First, I think I always have been a pleaser. I was always on the hunt for how could I please and make people happy at the first place. And this started with, I think, my childhood, my friends. I always wanted to be liked, to be appreciated. And this is maybe coming from the fact that I was kind of abandoned by my mom when I was a kid, so I had like a void to fill up. And it was all about seducing, right? I wanted to seduce people. I wanted them to be liked. I wanted to be the favorite. I wanted to be the number one. And I think all this kind of subconscious thing, really, like pushed me towards like, yeah, connecting with people in a certain way, right? Then the second flash that I can have is when I started my career, for example, in hospitality, right? And like same thing with the guest. I was always like a pleaser, always a seductor. Very quickly when I moved to London, it developed a lot my personality, my confidence, on the floor. And obviously, I started to understand very, very quickly how could I make people crazy. How could I earn their trust? How could I sell better? And all this was definitely to be genuine and authentic because I was true to myself. I never had this fear of barrier between classes, like serving like a lot of rich clientele, celebrities, all those kind of things. I always have felt very confident and comfortable with it, so I think due to all the travels that I've done when I was a kid, like I don't know if I ever told you this, guys, but I never spent more than 3 years in the single and same spot for my whole life. I was always moving right and left since I was a kid. And I think this created me like a beautiful adaptability, so I can adapt to, I grew up in the ghetto, so I could survive and make myself in the ghetto. At the same time, I could be working in three Michelin star restaurant where I was serving celebrities and very known people all day and come back from one world to another. I could be very comfortable with kids. I could be very comfortable with adults. I never had any issues of speaking, and I think this really helped me to adapt and take every person as an individual, regardless of the status, regardless of their background, regardless of anything. Was always taking care of a person based on a one-to-one relationship. And if I liked your values, if I understood that you were like somebody kind, I was very kind and back. But at the same time, I never have been able to fake somebody that I didn't appreciate. If I don't like you, I don't speak to you. I cannot fake it. I cannot make a fake smile. I cannot entertain like a certain kind of game. And this also has put me some walls into my journey too, because I couldn't do a fake face, a fake smile, and just be someone that I am not, because we're not sharing at all the same values. All right. So again, I think it's like a double-edged sword where sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Obviously I was doing this without being conscious of, like a certain strategy or a certain authenticity, or what was it like to be likable or not. But I think, yeah, with the guest, I think this helped me to give me a big boost into my confidence with my authenticity, and how was I able to, to shine in my restaurant world. Because at the end of the day, it's all about a guest perspective. Like if you're able to seduce guests, to make them come back, to sell them whatever you want, to make them like champions of your restaurant, of course, this is how, at least in the European world, you keep growing, because it's all driven towards the outcome, that are the guests coming back and spending always more and more money to the restaurant, right? So then I took this with, a relationship at work, for example, with other colleagues. When I started to be in managerial role, I understood that it wasn't just me and my sales and my guests anymore. I was in charge of a team, and again, a big bumpy road. It took me like a few years to actually understand how to become a leader, how to earn the trust, how to build relationship with my team members, how to listen to them, how to be present, how to give before taking, how to nourish them and spoil them in a nice way, to make sure that, they were happy to come to work and happy to perform more. So I think the leader inside me learned a lot over the years. And again, I'm still learning as much as day one, guys. Something that I was saying on the previous videos is like, we never stop learning. And the person who think that is not enough is just a fool, right? We never stop learning. There is always bigger, smarter, stronger, more experience all around us. And this is in life as much as at work, in any kind of industry. So I think it's always important to arrive with this certain humility, that we constantly have to grow and develop ourselves, and to reinvent ourselves every day, and to reassess ourselves every day too. It's so, so, so important. So as a leader, yes, obviously I continue to, to grow, to be a better listener, to be more present, to understand what my people needs, to put them in a situation where they can win. My goal is not to entertain that kind of power and to hold everybody in fear, right? I want everybody to be happy to do great results, instead of being feared of making mistakes, right? So again, my authenticity has grew from guests to team members, to colleagues, right? Same thing, like I cannot make it alone, right? We always need collaborations, people all around us, like same thing. For very long years, I thought that it was me against the world, that was just fighting and being ultra competitive and thinking that I would make it by myself. And then I realized too late, Lucas, you don't gonna make nothing on your own, same thing, like a hard resolution, especially that I realized that I lost so many years where I could have built more network, I could have built more collaborations, I could have focused on trust, on reputation, and all those kind of things. It's not something that I kept the flame alive for many years. So now again, for example, I just arrived in the US 2 years ago. It's things that I learned since then. And obviously now I do everything in order to, to build connections, because this is what it's all about. And I have like a great story is that when I used to work in London, for instance, like I used to have a big VAP, an American guy from Los Angeles. And again, we used to take care of him like crazy when he used to come in London. We used to be kids back in the days, like we were 20, 21 years old. And we used to see that big guy arriving, and like again, like we were treating him like a king, because he was also very nice to us. And there was this kind of beautiful relationship that grew. 10, 12 years later, we never spoke since then, and boom, we get back. I live in San Diego, he's in LA. We met up, we became friends. He eventually became a mentor. And this is like a beautiful story, and this is what I think, like authenticity means, because like people remember what you've done for them. They remember how much you were happy to see them, and 10, 12 years later you meet them again. And so that's something that now I take a lot of pride of, is like making sure that all the relationship I build around me every day are relationships that are solid, right? That we can count on, making sure that we're true to each other, because we never know when we're going to need this person or when we're going to meet them back, and it's just about sharpening your karma. right? You want to make sure that you leave a clean sheet everywhere, that you're a person which is likable, that you're trustworthy, that person can count on. They can count on you if one day they will need something, And again, so now, I was focused very much about myself for the last year, and now again, I'm ready to open up. I'm ready to make new friends, new connections, be part of different groups. Whatever it's about friendship, is about entrepreneurship, is about investment, is about the restaurant, is about the new projects that they have by doing podcasts and everything. And now with the Lucid Living program, I really realize what it means to be authenticity. And this is why now I'm practicing every day. Those videos is about, uncovering myself, removing the shell that I have all around me, and being able to share and expose everything that was, hidden inside for so many years, and to find comfort, to find pleasure, to find happiness and a certain sense of fulfillment by doing it and opening up to you guys. Maybe a lot of people won't care, or most people won't care about what is Lucas' story, but maybe I will find in between like 1 or 2% that will say, wow, fuck yeah, I have a similar story and I want to learn from that guy, because this is really the most impactful thing, is even if there is 1% that you can help, that 1% that you can save, 1% that you can help opening the eyes, I think the whole thing start finally making sense if you just find 1% that, will require the service, the wisdom, or the experience that I have been acquiring during the years, So again, I see it as guests, I see it as colleagues, I see it as friends. Obviously, I haven't spoken about my family too, but the family, I think for the past decade, I think I was very much digging my own journey. It was also it's not usual, to split apart from your family, regardless of the love. I decided to follow my own journey, to live in my own countries. I left home very early, like I think around 19 years old. I left my parents' house. It was really from that moment on, I just kept looking forward, and so my family is also traveling a lot around the world, so we are all dispatched everywhere. But we know that we're still as close as each other, to each other, and we still call each other once a week or several times a week, and we still, are making all our moves, but then letting each other know. But again, it's like I had this decade where I had to, to look for my own journey, to be doing my own thing. And finally, now that I feel more accomplished, I feel more stable, I finally find a certain peace of mind with who did I became, what's my identity, what am I made of. Now I can finally feel like I can reopen to them and start sharing and be proud of who did I became and the journey that I've made so far, So again, I think authenticity is a work in progress. I'm glad to have realized what authenticity means and how it can impact the relationship to others. That's very, very important. And again, now that I'm conscious of this, now that I can point at it, I think that now moving forward, all my relationships are going to be much more powerful, much more meaningful than they ever been. Right? It's not like just being myself and being likable and being the little Frenchie with a nice face. Now it's like I can really put intention on being authentic, on building those genuine relationships with others, and I think my life from that moment on is going to take like a big turn moving forward. So this is what makes me very, very happy. So I hope that I will be able to give you an update in like 3, 6 months, 1 year, and see how my journey have been evolving towards authenticity since I started this challenge. And we're going to have like a little bit more frame to look at, and some retrospective too, to be able to see how much progress I've made and how much I've been able to surround myself with incredible people and to unify ourselves towards the same goal, right? So here we are, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope until the end. Continue to share, please, your feedbacks and your criticism if there is any. I really need this to continue to perform and to continue to grow, and to see what can I improve moving forward in this journey. I see you on the next one. You have a beautiful, blessed day. Happy Friday to you all. And thank you very much for watching. Take care.